Okay, so guys, welcome back. We're back in Call of the Avatar. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to lava fishing. Yeah, hey, let's get right into lava fishing. Okay, haven't really caught anything bigger than the colacant. I wish I was able to catch one of these. At least this thing is like maybe 3 or 4, but I'm stuck with colacant. I think there is something in chat. Let me take a look. I just saw it on screen right there on OBS. Okay, so we have Dubs a lot 420. Welcome back. Dubs a lot 420. Just continuing with lava fishing. Still trying to catch something bigger than Colacan for the contest hosted by Rajazel, by the town of Rajazel, and I guess Diablo team. Okay. I'm glad I remembered it. Whenever I'm thinking of the name, it's always Diabolic. I don't know why. It's Diablotin. The first name that comes into my head is Diabolic. Okay, still nothing. Trilobite. Why would I want a trilobite? Okay, let's see. I guess maybe this will be the last hour that I'll fish here in Frogtown Market for lava fish, and then I'll move on to the next one, which is in the one hosted by Lightbringer Isle. I believe the deadline for this is November 23. It's also already November 22. I'm going to submit early because I tend to forget things, especially when I'm also playing another game that I don't stream. I wish there was like a prize for catching nothing. That is the most, I guess, players catch in this game when you are fishing. Everyone catches nothing. There should be a record, a contest for the one who caught the most nothing. Of course, as you can see, I'm now fishing outside or way far away. A little bit, not so close to the lava pools because it's possible. There was no need to get close to the lava pools. I'm surprised the lava pools are not like lowered into the ground. I guess there is no mechanic of, you know, there is no mechanic of pushing an object down to the ground. I'm pretty sure if that was possible, most of the owners here or the those who owns a lava pool would push it down. But I guess you can't. Also, it would look nicer if it's like somewhat lower. Oh, I was like fishing in the lava dungeon a while back, and uh, the ones I saw there were also placed on top of the floor. Yeah, there is no mechanic in Shroud of the Avatar where you can push an object down. Okay, lava fishing is now at 94. Nice. You know, like this, see this? Look at that. This was only possible because it was, I guess, pushed. Uh, they were able to push the lava pool to the, I guess, side of the cliff or side of the hill, if you can call this a hill. Imagine if you can push it downward. It will look a lot better. Okay, I have 198 gemmed lures, and I'm not using heavy gemmed lures this time. Gemmed lures are quite expensive to make. Meteoric ingot, 200 fragments, and then you can it only creates 5 pieces of heavy gem blues. And I searched, and I guess they don't really have much of a difference. The description on both of them are quite the same. So in the Kodo store, a search for lava will show the lava grotto and lava fishing room. Both lava are submerged. Yes, but because that was they were designed like that. They were designed to be submerged in the ground, unlike the lava pool. But having a way to submerge things would be, I think, you can do a lot of possible, a lot of variations when you are decorating things. If you can submerge things in the ground. especially things like this that you don't have to interact with the lava. I meant, go to the lava because you'll die. There is no lava swimming. I guess doing something like that will involve a lot of changes to the code. And yeah, most probably if they would just break the game entirely. I'm pretty sure the developers, the ones who are in charge right now, unless unless of course they are a math genius like Chris Pierce, I'm pretty sure Chris Pierce can code something like that since he basically coded the entire thing already. You can see the level of my graphics by just looking at the leaves of the trees. Look at the highly detailed tree leaves on this tree right here. It's like my eyesight. It's blurry. It's yeah. That's when you have poor eyesight. That's how you see things. That's how you see the world. It's blurry. It's not dark or anything. It's just blurry. It seems that I caught another cola cunt again. I need something a little bit bigger than a cola cunt. If I catch something like that, that is the one I'm going to submit. With so many people entering in the contest, the chance of winning with just a cola cunt is like slim to zero. Maybe even if there were like only two people in the contest, who knows, the other guy might have caught something like a Dunkleosteus or something bigger than a cola cunt. But with a fishing contest like this, where like there are like millions of players participating, yeah, a cola cunt will not get you a win. What I'm saying is actually true. The only reason you're not seeing any players in my streams is because I have my settings set to private. Because you can change the multiplayer setting in Shroud of the Avatar. You can go solo, multiplayer, or just with friends. So to avoid lag, I've set my multiplayer to just private or solo. So right now here in Fractal Market, there are like a lot of people also fishing around the lava pools. You just don't see them because my setting is set to private. The game is already laggy as it is. Imagine playing in multiplayer mode. That's why it's always best to play in private or solo mode. That is where the term selective multiplayer RPG came from. Because Shroud of the Avatar is not exactly an MMO, it's a selective multiplayer role playing game. You can select how you play or experience the world, but with everyone else, with the millions playing, or with just your friends or party, or by yourself. You can just experience the world by yourself, and it's fine. It's actually a great feature. Maybe actual MMOs should have something like that, where when you're not feeling in the mood to interact with other players, you just switch to private and boom, everyone's gone. Okay, anomalocaris. Okay, that doesn't count. Eventually I'm just going to sell all of them. Maybe make a display trophy for Colacant, but the rest, I guess I'm just going to sell them to, or maybe butcher them and turn them into fish fillet if that is possible. Again, no one buys them anymore. Everyone is like making their own fish fillets and making their own display trophies. It's really hard to sell things now. And I'm also catching sulfurous ash. The reason for that is because I'm using gemmed lures and not heavy gemmed lures. I believe that was like explained to me by Henmu, Lightbringer of Lightbringer Isle. But besides that, they don't actually have any difference when it comes to their, I guess, description. Look at this. I have like heavy gem lure here, and the description is common bait only used for fishing in lava. No bonuses or anything. It doesn't mention anything. Range is 17.6. If you go to gemmed lures, it has the same description. Common bait only useful when fishing lava. So if they have the same effect, what's the point of using heavy gemmed lures except for not getting sulfurous ash? It doesn't make sense to use a heavy gemmed lure, which is far more expensive than gemmed lures. I don't get it. There should be, if there is a difference, they should at least add it in the description, like the other bait. For example, we have like blood leech and drudge leech. You can see the difference in the description. So this one is a rare bait with a very large bonus to catching fish in fetid water, blah blah blah. And although they're both leech, uncommon bait with a large bonus, see, there's a difference between the two. You know that blood bleach is much better, and then because it's also harder to get. But with gemmed lures, yeah, they basically have the same description, which tells me that they have basically the same effect, and the only difference is that one is easier to make and the other one is more expensive to make. Imagine I spent like a lot of meteoric iron making this heavy gemmed lures. And now I'm kind of regretting it, because realizing that they have the same description. They don't have any difference at all. except for, gem lures. You'll they break and turn into sulfurous ash. The reason why smelting is done one by one is because there are times where you'll make an excellent item, an excellent iron ingot, and using an excellent iron ingot in crafting armor or anything from iron ingot, will yield you a much better item. That's the reason why it's done like one at a time, because every time you process a raw material into another material for crafting, it's not just the same material every time. Sometimes you'll get an excellent item from it, and you'll need to separate the excellent items from the smelting process or any of the secondary process. Anything that has excellent in it, you must separate it from the normal ones, and you use the excellent ones in your crafting, because you'll get far better items from it. Although it's not explained like that, because there is literally no difference in the names of the excellent and the normal items, but they do exist, I guess, because it's mentioned when you are crafting. You crafted an excellent item. Why would the game say it's an excellent item when, if it's just a normal item? It doesn't make sense for the game to do that, unless of course they messed up. Well, of course, Shroud of the Avatar developers won't admit that they did something wrong. $24.8. Oh crap! I have to squint. I have to squint every time. The texts are too small in chat, in everything. The only words that are big are, above the name of the town and who governed it. The game should have like disability features for, players who have like bad eyesight, because I don't often wear my glasses, because my glasses, I use them for just reading. My glasses are for reading, not for I used to have like double lenses, but the frame of that one broke. Okay, there you go. As you can see, there's no need to get close to the lava pools. My avatar has died like 3 times already from lava pools or just lava. One time my avatar died in the lava dungeon. There was like this lava pool that has a trap door. Oh my goodness, that was really unexpected. My avatar was like just walking on the side of the lava pool, and then boom, the floor disappeared. Wow, okay. My avatar died after. Well, it's not an instant death. Your avatar will basically burn to death unless you have like a very high level of fire resistance, which my avatar doesn't have. I wonder what is the fire resistance of my avatar. Let's see. I don't think it is. Oh, show more. I guess let's click on show more. Ah, there you go. Ah, offensive, defensive. It doesn't say. Resist is like 61.2. Resist what? I thought it would show more information like fire resistance, ice resistance, water resistance, things like that, but I guess it doesn't. But you do get fire resistance. I saw it displayed in chat. I'm pretty sure there is like a Lua script out there that will probably show information like that. I don't have any Lua scripts installed, although you can use them to track your progress. I wish there was like a Lua script to further lower the graphic settings. Ooh, Ammonite. Ammonite is very small. Unless the contest is for the smallest lava fish. Yeah, unless the contest is for the shortest or smallest fish, lava fish, ammonites are like basically useless unless you want to create a display trophy from it. So they're talking about cotton and carapaces in chat, in your verse chat. I was also contemplating of going back or doing a little bit of mining, farming. Farming in this game is like insane. I do have like space in I guess in Britmart. The house that I placed in Britmart is a Gothic inn. and I could use the roof for farming. Ooh, we're like 30 minutes. We have like 29 minutes left on the hour. Caught a trilobite. That doesn't count. You caught nothing. Oh my goodness. If I if I if I was able to get like one gold every time my avatar catches nothing, I think I'll have like thousands of gold already. So again, this is the magic of lava fishing in Shroud of the Avatar. So you need to find the correct angle and attack it. I think I forgot to play something. I was like thinking of I was thinking of playing the No Man's Sky Redemption video every time as an intro. I think I forgot to do that. I wish like really, truly, honestly, I really wish Shroud of the Avatar could have like a redemption arc, just like what No Man's Sky did. That was like they turned a failure into a success. So my question has always been, if No Man's Sky did it, why can't Sota do it too? That's basically just my question. Hello Games is also a small studio with what, like 10 people working on it. I don't know now. Maybe they have more. Maybe now they have like 100 because the game is wildly successful now. It's just strange, you know. You have like legends of game development, legends of game design, and they weren't able to turn Cloud of the Avatar, make it a success. I think one of the thing that I guess the developers of No Man's Sky did is that they turned off their egos. You know, they admitted that what they released was a piece of trash, and they stayed low, spent like what, a year or two not having any updates, and just They spent like fixing the game behind the scenes, and they released an update that changed everything. I really wish, truly, I really wish Shroud of the Avatar could go through the same thing. You know, it's not yet too late because the game is still live. It's too late once the game is totally shut down. Development has stopped, and servers are dead and done. But right now, the servers are still running, and there are still people working on it. So there's still hope. And they could start by fixing the new player experience, because as it is now, or even I guess back then, it wasn't that great of an experience, and most players quit either in that floating isle, Mystic Isle, I forgot what it's called, or in Solace Bridge, Battle of Solace Bridge, or Solace Bridge Outskirts. Those are the early parts of the game that a new player will encounter and experience. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Maybe they could consult an expert on how to turn that early experience into an epic experience. Let me give you an example. Skyrim, the early experience. Imagine encountering that dragon the first time you go through the game. That is an experience already. Whoa, we're like, I think they tried to copy it with the Battle of Solace Bridge and the other openings, but there was no battle happening. It was just an aftermath of a battle. Imagine being in the battle itself rather than in the aftermath of the battle. Imagine Skyrim starting with the aftermath of the attack of Alduin. There would be no impact at all. You wouldn't see the dragon. You wouldn't experience getting attacked by a dragon. So those are basically two different experiences. And Skyrim went with the actual attack of Alduin rather than go the player coming in. The player coming in from I guess wherever the player came from. Entering Helgen, and all they encounter or see is the aftermath of the attack of Alduin. Then just talk to the those people who are dying. That is exactly what the Battle of Solace Bridge is. You started after the battle. Imagine starting while the battle is happening, and you are like frantically running around fighting whomever it is that was invading the town, and then have like or try to escape this massive boss that are trying to yeah, sure, you're just copying Skyrim at this point, but at least it's better than what the Battle of Solace Bridge is right now. Look at the opening of Oblivion. You witnessed the assassination of the Emperor. Those are amazing openings. You didn't start with the emperor already dead. Look at the opening of Fallout 4. Those are the things that made those game epic. The opening of Fallout 4. You were there when the bombs fell. When the nuclear bombs fell. You were there with your family and you were trying to escape together with your family. Although it's also kind of stupid because once the bombs fell after you signed the contract of staying in a bunker, if such a thing happened, and then after signing that, a few minutes later there was like news of bombs falling. Okay, that was like, what? I just signed the thing and now there are bombs falling. Oh yeah, speaking of music, music is by Stream Beats, and the I guess playlist or collection I'm playing is called Ambience. I was able to download. Uh, Actually, I made a mistake when I had access to the Stream Beats Google Drive because it had everything. I was only able to download half of it, but when I went back, um, the drive is no longer accessible. So if you want to download Stream Beats or music from Stream Beats, you now have to subscribe or pay for a subscription. I was like saving hard drive space because music, I don't know what happened to music, but back in the day, 2000, MP3s were like what, 1 MB, 500 KB, but now they're like 30 MB. They're even like 100 MB music. I don't know what happened there. So I was like running out of I was like not running out. I was like, I want to save hard drive space. So I kind of picked and choose the ones that I like and downloaded those instead, thinking that maybe later I can come back and download the rest. But when I went back to download the rest, they now have like a new website, and in this website you need to pay for a subscription, a monthly subscription, to access their library. Of course, they have like more music there. The Google Drive access, well, I guess they either turn that off or maybe totally delete it. But you can get or you can listen to the entire collection in Spotify. They put the entire collection in Spotify. They kind of disabled, except for two. They do the collection is also in YouTube, but if you go to the playlist, only two are active and the rest are like privated. I tried playing the playlist in Spotify through the web browser, but the problem is the web browser uses like GPU. I don't know why playing music requires or uses the GPU. It doesn't really make sense. I guess because there is like a video running while the music is playing. Maybe that's the thing that uses the GPU. And with Shroud of the Avatar already using Shroud of Avatar maybe uses it doesn't use the entire GPU, but it does use or requires a very high power usage. It's insane. It's always like very high. The only time it's not high is when you are in the overworld or when you are in a dungeon. But if you are in a town like this one, yeah, it's always very high. I guess it's the power is being used by those. Why can't I turn off the wind? I wish I could turn off the animation. I'm pretty sure those things are using a lot of power. The leaves swaying, the trees swaying, that, and even the smoke. Why can't I turn off the smoke? I want to turn off the smoke. And even the flame effect, I don't care much for the flame or the bursting lava effect. I'm pretty sure those are using power as well. Even the grass, look at that. Why can't I turn off the swaying of the grass? It's not necessary. Does it make the game feel immersive? Yeah, sure. But if your graphic setting is set to the lowest, it doesn't really matter anymore because everything looks blurry. So I guess in my case it's like immersive, because everything, even in real life, everything looks blurry. So the game looking blurry is like very immersive to me. Not really. I don't really care much for the bells and whistles. What's important to me is I can run the game. What's the point of having all the bells and whistles if you can't even run the game? They should add a check mark, or maybe add a check mark that when you click on it, turns off all dynamic animations, like trees swaying, grass swaying, turn off smoke altogether, or maybe have like a selection, turn off unnecessary animations. The weird thing is I can run GTA 5, which has better graphics fidelity than Shroud of the Avatar. I don't have problems running GTA 5. And that game looks insane. I can have shadows in GTA 5. I can't have shadows in Shroud of the Avatar. Why is that? Someone should explain that to me. Why do I have weather effects in GTA 5? I can have snow, I can have rain, I can have fog, all the time, all the different weather effects. I can have shadows. I can drive the car real fast without stuttering. And here we have Shroud of the Avatar with less graphics fidelity, and I can't have those. It's insane. Maybe they should have used the Rage engine instead of the Unity engine when they decided to develop Shroud of the Avatar. Maybe the Rage engine is a much better engine than the Unity engine. I just find it mind-blowing that I could run GTA 5 with shadows, weather effects. Although I do reduce the number of, NPCs to half, or because of performance issues. If you have like a lot of NPCs running around, there is also a setting that turns off the NPCs altogether. And even the cars. How many cars do you want on the road? Something like that. They have a slider for that. I can even run Elite Dangerous with it has more graphics fidelity than Shroud of the Avatar. Although a little bit on the lower graphic settings, but still, even the lowest graphic settings, Elite Dangerous looks good. And again, I never really cared much for graphic settings. Never really played a game in ultra or high graphics settings. I never had the system for it anyway. And imagine this game used to run on a GT 730. Now it wouldn't run on a GT 730. I don't think it will run on a GT 730 anymore. So, what changed? What changed? I don't know. I don't know what changed. Okay, let's take a look at the fish. We have again ammonite. They're quite small. The most the most length you'll get from an ammonite is like one. Colocant is like two. Yeah, the chance of winning with a colocant is pretty slim. Pretty slim. Maybe if I caught an ichthyosaurus, not the young one, the normal one. I think this has a size of maybe 3 or 4. Um, let's see how. Maybe not. But then again, this is a young one. The young ones. Okay, link to double D fast on screen right now. Again, if you are experiencing lag, I don't use double D fast anymore because do I really need double D fast when I'm just playing Shroud of the Avatar? Of course not. But if you are playing like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Marvel Rivals, competitive games, basically online competitive games, and you keep dying or getting killed because you're lagging too much, give it a try and see if it'll work for you. Again, the keyword there is try. Okay, download it. You'll get a free trial and use it while playing your favorite competitive game, whatever it is, and see if your latency or your ping will not be as high. I think my ping is like around 300. So imagine playing Counter-Strike with a ping of 300. You're just basically free kill. You're just standing there. So the enemy will just see you standing there. What is this fool doing? Why is this guy just standing here? You're just free kill. Whoa, look at that 1%. Oh, look at that. We're down to the last few seconds. Yeah. The last few seconds. I think today is AEW Full Gear. Where could I watch it? Okay, so thanks to Dubs a lot 420 for joining me in chat. Thank you, Dubs. I'll be back again. I'll just take a break basically, or maybe check out. Well, yeah, Full Gear is not on yet, so it's too early. But I'll do like I'll be in another game fishing. There's a scheduled fishing contest in another game where you actually win something that will, I guess, earn you real money. Okay, so I'll be there. That's 1 hour, and then after that, I'll probably go back to continue fishing in Frogtown because again, the deadline for the fishing contest here is November 23, and that's not just your November 23. It's their November 23. When is that? Well, the actual time is in the forum. I kind of forgot. But it's November 23 right now. It's no, I'm still in November 22. It's 5 p.m. So maybe I still have like, you know, a few more hours. Going to keep trying. I just need to catch something that is a little bit bigger than the cola cunt, and then I'll turn it in, and then head to like Bringer Isle for the fishing contest there. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Subscribe, okay, in YouTube, follow in Twitch, Kick, D-Live, Trovo, Rumble. Make an account in Rumble. Use my affiliate link. See you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.
Spaceship to planet side, which I'm not gonna lie is a wholly unique experience in of itself, but No Man's Sky is very different from basically every other game out there because of its history. You see, the story of No Man's Sky is one of not only overpromise, but complete and utter betrayal, and how one man and his small team has worked tirelessly for 9 years to make up
Yeah,
for
they
it.
did it. Why can't
I
Soda do
remember
it
it like
too?
it was yesterday. No Man's Sky was first featured on VGX 2013, which is more than 12 years ago, but its first big trailer was at E3 2014, and it took the audience by storm. Everything about it was straight up hype. Here was this strange looking new game that lets you seamlessly hop into your spaceship, travel across the stars, land on another planet, and freely explore in the span of, what, 2 minutes? This shit was insane, and I remember being instantly caught by this first reveal. The hype was unreal. No loading screens, there's no fade to black, just a clean jump from ground to orbit like you were living in your own sci-fi movie. At the time, this was unheard of. Every article, every forum, every conversation made it feel like this was going to be the next giant leap for gaming. People were calling it the future of open worlds. It was gonna change everything, and when you're a gamer sitting there watching Sean Murray smile his way through interviews talking about quintillions of planets and the infinite possibilities, you couldn't help but believe him. The thing is though, hype is like a black hole. It just pulls more and more in until nothing can escape. No Man's Sky didn't just look good, it looked too good. The way the media framed it and the way fans built it up, it started to sound less like a video game and more like a second coming of Star Trek. Everyone had their own fantasy about what this game was gonna be. For some people, it was a hardcore space sim. For others, it was Minecraft in space. For others still, it was the ultimate multiplayer exploration game where you and your friends could just get lost among the stars. The truth? It wasn't really any of those things, but we'll get to that. Because before all that, there was this golden period where anything seemed possible. You'd see all these amazing video clips and you'd think, yeah, this is it. This is the one. Like, I can't overstate how hyped people were. Pre-orders were through the roof. Sean Murray was on late night TV with Stephen Colbert. It was all over Reddit. It was everywhere. No Man's Sky wasn't just a game anymore. It was an event. It was the event. And then it all came crashing down. When the game launched in 2016, reality hit like a meteor. Instead of this endless universe full of wonder, the one you actually got was, well, kind of empty. Sure, you could fly to planets and yeah, you could mine stuff, but the creatures were awkward, the worlds looked repetitive, and the features people swore were going to be in there, well, they weren't. Multiplayer? Well,
No.
epic space battles?
No.
Complex ecosystems and huge alien civilizations?
No.
At one point, two players went to the exact same planet and to the exact same spot and tried to engage with each other, but they couldn't because it wasn't multiplayer. It was a lie. People were pissed. Metascores went red instantly. Memes tore the game apart. No Man's Lie became the nickname, and within weeks, the player count nosedived harder than a starship without fuel. It was one of the biggest betrayals in gaming, not just because the game was bare bones, but because people felt like they'd been sold a dream that didn't exist. And I'm not exaggerating when I say the anger was insane. Refunds were flying, Reddit threads were basically bonfires, and even the UK's Advertising Standards Authority launched an investigation into whether the trailers had misled people. That's how fucking bad it was. And Hello Games, they went completely silent. No interviews, no big apologies, just crickets. I really do remember it in the back of my mind. It honestly looked like they had cashed out and disappeared. And the fact that they weren't responding just fueled the rage. Because when a company screws up, people expect at least some kind of explanation. Instead, it felt like Sean Murray had just vanished into the void and taken the money with him. But here's where the story gets interesting, because this was not the end. As much as everyone thought Hello Games was done, they weren't. They were being silent for a very good reason. They were cooking. Months went by, and then something happened. Out of nowhere, Hello Games broke their silence. No long apology video, no over-the-top marketing campaign, just a very simple post. The Foundation update. It was pretty funny in how understated it was. They basically said, yeah, we've been quiet, but we're listening. This is the foundation for things to come. That's it. No fireworks, no promises, just a basic patch. But when people actually booted it up, it wasn't just a patch. It was massive. Suddenly you could build bases, set up farms, hire alien workers, and even own freighters, giant ships that acted as your mobile headquarters. They added new modes like creative and survival, which completely changed how you could play. And all of that, mind you, was completely free. This was the moment everyone realized, oh shit, they didn't actually give up. They didn't abandon the game. They were actually trying to fix it. Now don't get me wrong, the Foundation update didn't magically save No Man's Sky. It was still pretty rough, still missing a lot of the stuff people wanted, but it planted a seed. For the first time since launch, players started thinking that maybe this could become something. And Hello Games leaned into that. Instead of doing hype interviews or flashy trailers, they went quiet again. No promises, no timelines, just heads down, working. After Foundation, the game wasn't fixed yet, but you could feel the direction changing. And then almost like clockwork, another big update dropped, Pathfinder. Suddenly you had vehicles to roll around planets in, actual ship classes to collect, and even a photo mode for all those alien landscapes. It wasn't flashy enough to win everyone back, but it was momentum. And that's the key here. Momentum, because Hello Games stuck to this cycle of disappearing, then re-emerging with something substantial. Then, a year later, the big one appeared, Atlas Rises. This was when the game started looking like the thing people had hoped for back in 2016. 30 hours of actual story content, new lore, portals you could activate, a proper mission system, way more diverse planets, and yes, even a form of multiplayer. Yeah, okay, you couldn't really see each other yet, just little glowing orbs floating around, but after the disaster at launch, even that was a huge deal. By this point, the conversation had completely shifted. It wasn't, this game is a scam. It was, wait a minute, this is actually getting really good. People who refunded or rage quit at launch were starting to poke their heads back in, just to see what had changed. I know I did. And most of the people came away saying the same thing. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. Then in 2018, it finally happened. The next update. This was the one that really flipped the script. Multiplayer was in for real this time. You could actually run around with your friends, build massive bases together, and explore as a group. They added third-person mode, better visuals, and gave the whole thing a fresh coat of paint. It was pretty much the relaunch of No Man's Sky. Next even coincided with the Xbox release, which meant millions of new players were jumping in for the first time, and they weren't seeing the broken 2016 version anymore. They were seeing a game that had learned from its mistakes and actually delivered on its promises. The reviews started swinging back up, the community started filling with excitement instead of salt, and for the first time in 2 years people were saying something nobody thought they'd ever say again. No Man's Sky is worth playing. No Man's Sky is a weird game because it really should not have survived. Most games that launch in that state either die with a silent whimper or get a sequel slapped on them a few years later. But Hello Games didn't do that. They stayed, they worked, and they built. From the insane hype of 2013 to the crash and burn of 2016 to the cautious optimism of Foundation to the big shift with Atlas Rises and then the full-blown relaunch with Next, it's been a 9-year climb. And the crazy thing about all this is that they never charged a dime extra for it. Every single update, every expansion, and every rework have all been free. And that's over 30 plus updates. It's absolutely crazy. It's even gotten to the point where people are saying stuff like, we have money, Sean, because at this point it's just sheer insanity to keep giving out free updates like candy. In the end, the narrative surrounding No Man's Sky has flipped. The No Man's Lie memes disappeared, the Steam reviews went from overwhelmingly negative to very positive, and people started holding it up as one of the greatest comeback stories in gaming. And they're right, because now in 2025 you've got Voyagers, an update so ambitious that Hello Games had to rework the engine just to make it happen. Buildable Corvette-class starships, walkable interiors, full spacewalks, multiplayer crews, stuff that 10 years ago would have sounded like another Sean Murray dream. Except, now it's real. So yeah, No Man's Sky is a beautiful redemption for Hello Games and for Sean Murray. No Man's Sky went from a cautionary tale to a gaming legend. And if nothing else, it proved one thing. Sometimes you really can fix the unfixable.